and we will find out how my story ended, and perhaps even why I forgot it. Tell me about Earthfall. Is this just going to repeat it all again? Yeah, it's repeating it all. Okay. Thanks for your stories. I want to discuss your past with you. Oh, no, no, no. Hold on. Have you decided to join the crusade? I've decided not to, I'm afraid. My path and the path of the crusade lead in the same direction, but alas, they are not yet one and the same. After the demons were driven away from Canabras, the path into the world wound became open, if only temporarily. I'm planning on using this opportunity to visit. F falls silent. It doesn't matter now. I'd hate to bore you with the details of my venture, which may prove useless even for myself. However, I'll try to return to the Crusades and aid them in my confrontations with the demons after I'm done. Hey, Hindenburg. Thanks for the follow. Hopefully everything's going good. In this world run, I hope to meet you again in this world run, didn't I? Yeah, I did, Grace. I have several other people that have contacted me about doing artwork. I'm currently not interested in trying to do any artwork or anything for the channel right now. I'm just kind of doing it for fun and just spend time. So, yeah, I'm not interested in that. But thanks. I wish you interesting adventures. Okay, we talked to Nino now. Neo. I hope we meet. What she said? I hope we meet Discari and Beth from it soon. I have numerous questions for them. Wait, what are we supposed to be doing? From Cannabis to Treasure, between miles and miles of lands. Okay, we still gotta talk to everybody. Alright, I'll add you when I get finished with today's stream. Okay. Did we fail any of those other quests? They're all green. So I take it no? Okay. Oh, she's just following us. Okay. Spears, flail, and Kodan Master for Great Axe. Okay. Okay, we're up in this corner now.
I'm gone.
We're in the office. See so many happy faces. She's happy for the happy faces. Okay, let's go in here real quick to see what is here. Master bed is clean and neatly made. Only the commanding officers are allowed such luxury during marches. Okay. So many things. Now, the text to speech, does that also work on the books? Well, I'll look at it. I'll go and look at it. If not tonight, tomorrow morning. If not at the end of tonight's stream, beginning of the day tomorrow for me. Because if it reads the books too, then that'd be nice. I do like reading the stories in the books and getting some background information on the thing, but when it comes to the story as streaming, I mean, I don't think that'll be very beneficial. Darian. There you are. You dashing troublemaker, you. Darian flashes you a self-satisfied smile. Our short acquaintance is coming to an end. Very soon you will depart on your crusade, where you'll scrape by on horrible rations, struggle vainly to fall asleep amidst the snoring soldiers, be rudely awoken by the freezing cold, and have to look upon the dour faces of self-righteous pricks, before you finally perish in the maw of some demon. I have a journey ahead of me too. I've just rented a sailboat in the south. I've also hired an excellent shelf and a host of other entertainments. Well, to each their own, I suppose. Yeah, I see 2 courtesans, so that's his entertainment. There's a pause, then suddenly adds in a more serious voice. You know, I'm generally sad to see you go. If it sounds like mockery, forgive me. I cannot switch off my venom gland on a whim, you see. But you intrigue me. If only we could have spent a little more time together. But of course, Darian grimaces. Not under these conditions. Let the Crusaders and their demons have at each other. With any luck, they'll take this entire sanctimonious spectacle down with them. Yeah, I'll be blunt. You don't intrigue me, not in the way you obviously had in mind. But you are a valuable companion. You could have stayed in my party. Yeah, I mean, he's supposed to be real good at healing, and so far as I've seen, he's really good at healing, so. Who, me? Where, in this traveling pardon me, in this army? Darian offers a doubtful smile. You must be joking. Of course I won't stay. Who in his right mind would trade a luxurious and carefree life for this crusade? In any case, I intend to wait until the army departs. I do love a good send-off, especially when it is I who is staying and someone else who is heading off to meet a dreary and hopeless end. Excuse me. Sometimes it does one good to ruminate on the unfairness of life. Well then, farewell, Commander. I assume I shall be of most precious memory on this most disgusting and exhausting road to the pointless slaughter of battle. Or, if not the most precious memory, then at least the most stirring. Darian smirks before intently losing all interest in you. Or at least he pretends to. Okay. Bunch of horses. Oh, there's Grandma Gretton, but
We do it my way.
okay. More stuff to sell. Even though it would kind of be cool if by me going through here and getting all these items, they had like a playback of at the upcoming battle. Some of the troops didn't have the right equipment. It's like, oh, you just robbed your own troops. His land. Okay.
Follow if you dare.
It's out here. Let's take a look out here and see if we see anything. Got some small earth elementals patrolling. Good for us.
There's something here.
Oh, there we go. There's something. Okay. Okay, let's go this way. Lambrix the Cyclops. What? Grandma Gritlin, the director. A well-dressed old dwarf is lecturing the motley company, shaking her ladle at them belligerently. Noticing you, she flings up her hands. Good afternoon, your commanderness. Do you remember us? We're the crew from the next door theater company, the one you saved in Canabras, back when you weren't a commanderness yet. As you can see, we've come to the campaign with you. We've signed up to clean pots and mend the soldiers' clothes. Keeping up a theater is expensive, so we all have to take side jobs. But we don't stop what we're doing. We're going to put on a play about your legendary feats. Of course, the crowd scenes are difficult. We can't find the people to play the hordes of demons, and we decided against using a ritual to summon real demons. Good. Luckily, we have Master Keen. He's invented a way to solve this problem using sound. Kima, the sound master. We caught a pig and some piglets who ran away from a burnt-out village. The glum and husky half-orc mumbled softly. We put the piglets in a box and scared them a little, and the sound they make is just like an approaching demon horde. But the most important question is, of course, choosing a lead actor who will play the great Knight Commander. We had a right Barney over it, breaking a number of lances as well as a shovel, a rolling pin, and a set of back scratchers. But we just couldn't decide no matter what. Maybe you can help us. We have two candidates that are most suited to the role. One will have the honor of conveying your heroism upon the stage, Commander, between a gnome and a cyclops. Okay. I'm to be played by a gnome. Not a gnome, two gnomes. Rumbledum and Harfant. Harfant. Hierophant. Rumbledum and Hierophant are twins. One of them sits on the other's shoulders and put on a long coat so that they can play tall characters. They switch places every so often, so each gets their moment of fame. In that way, they each only have to learn half of the script. A Cyclops actor? He's completely tame, believe me. He has a few issues with articulation, but what a powerful physique. We'll make him a nice costume, wash him up, brush his hair. Truth be told, in our show, you mainly just make short heroic exclamations at the fateful moment, like onward or we'll never give up, or my heart burns with courage. Lampkin can definitely handle the script. Don't you have any other actors who even vaguely resemble me? We are a small and poorly funded theater, and we only have a few actors, but they are also talented. One of a kind. I've chosen ones that are the best fit for your role. Trust my vision. I have more than a few successful plays under my belt. Alright, I've made my decision. I guess we're gonna go with the gnomes. I'll be played by the gnome twins. Wonderful. Sorry we took you away from all the important things heroes and commanders do. We're off to rehearsal, I mean. First we'll wash some pots, then we're off to a rehearsal. Let's go, you lazy lumps. Don't embarrass old grandma now. Okay. Interesting.
I'm off.
Group of soldiers talking loudly, laughing joyfully, and passing around a flask. So, Sailor. So picture this. My sword is by the fire. There's 2 goblins about to snatch it, and 3 more are digging through my tent. And I'm sat in the bushes wearing just my male shirt, wondering what the blast to do. An old mercenary taught me about the male shirt. You can't sleep in armor, but it's not so bad in mail once you get used to it. Too bad no one told me not to go into the bushes without my sword. So what did you do? What did I do? I barked like crazy. Goblins are afraid of dogs, you know. So they all went wild and started running around. I spot my sword and they spot me. So I jump over to the fire, wearing nothing but my male shirt, and I grab my sword and I yell in my big tough voice, "Oh, and here to grant me the power to crush these filthy creatures." My sword shining, the goblins are screaming. I jump to attack them and they fight back, but I fought them off somehow. But ever since then, I never take a step without my weapon. Sailor takes a sip from the flask. Ha ha ha, that's some story. Hey, stop. Stop gulping. Leave some for us. We've only just set off and you're already drinking? And with the queen in the camp, stop this at once. The knights quickly snap to attention. Sailor raises the flask and says loudly, "Right you are, Commander Tearblade. We'll but drinking to the queen's health." No, we'll do lawful. Sailor, show some discipline. Sailor becomes serious and puts the flask away. My apologies, Commander. That's better. You're a paladin in an army, not a mercenary on a raiding party. Make sure you act like it. I kind of wanted, like, to tell them it's alright for them to drink, but then also the other option was for me to start drinking. I didn't want my character to be drinking at it right now. Plus, we've been going lawful a lot on this playthrough, so it just made sense to continue the lawful choices. Is there anything back here? Nothing back that way, huh? I didn't think she'd have anything else to say. I missed what that said. Dang it. I'm sure it's in the journal. No, not that one. I thought it was going to be in the journal. Okay. Field medic, huh? Okay, let's talk to Camellia first. Beautiful day, isn't it? Okay. Kiado. Basilia Rathamus. So no real conversations, okay. Are we on this map? Still got. You missed loot this way?
I do what I must.
Oh, look at all that. Oh, we already going short of stuff. Is that because of us going around getting stuff, or? Good day. Do you remember me? I'm Journal. You spoke in the Defender's Heart, so you're the commander of the Crusader now. Crusade now. Aristotle knows it's hard to imagine someone worthy of taking up the post than the savior of Canabbers. May the good gods help you prevail. Okay, the priest, yeah. The Aristotle priest that was cutting up stuff. I completed my trials and took my holy orders only recently. I now serve my God and people to the best of my ability. What were you doing in the Defender's Heart? What I was bound to do under my holy orders. I healed the wounded and bound up the healthy to fight another day. Have you journeyed to Crusade? Don't take it amiss, but no, I haven't. I have my own task. I'm needed in Chili Creek, a tiny hamlet which, due to some oversight, has been left without a priest these many years. I'm about to set sail for there. I'll be making my journey along Old Man Sailing. Okay. Alright. Would you? Wilson Gurns. The burly shoulder with the impressive beard greets you with a broad smile. Wilson Gurns, the camp quartermaster at your service. How may I be of help? Tell me about yourself. The quarterman looks away sheepishly. There isn't much to tell, really. I was born in Canaveras in a humble family. I got an education, taught myself to read and write, got drafted into the army, spent 3 years as a shield bearer in the first line. I left after I did my time and joined the stonemasons guild. Then moved on to the shipwrights and rose to a crew chief. Sailed to Ilbora twice and returned with goods. Made some money, built a house, but haven't started a family yet. I think I will after we are done with this war. You have been a busy man. But a few years ago, something started gnawing at me. I got this feeling like I needed to go home, that there was a storm headed for my native city. And when there's trouble in Mendev, there's only one thing to do. You go to the recruiter and sign up for the army. And so I did. At first they wanted to make me an infantry sergeant, but then they decided I'd be a better fit in the supply department. I can take care of army property, and I'm pretty handy around the warehouse, not to mention I know how to manage a band of helpers. And so that's how I became a quartermaster, which gives you a sly smile and shrugs as if this were a wholly unremarkable story typical of any crusader. What are your duties in the camp? A little bit of everything. What's an officer to a soldier? A strict father. So what does this make a quartermaster like myself? Something like their mom. That's what. I make sure the lads have everything they need to defeat the enemy and come back from battle in one piece. Russell starts ticking off his fingers. That means food, firewood, medicine, tents, mended clothes, fixed weapons. The horses have got to be fed and watered. The camps got to be fortified by the evening and broken up by the morning. I make sure the wages are paid on time, and the wagon wheels don't squeak. And then there are reports. Gods, until you asked, I never realized how many duties I actually had. What do the soldiers think of their new commander? They mostly tell tales about your unusual power, but they don't shy away from talking about you as a person too. Soldiers are always like that. If Yomade herself descended from heaven, you bet they'd jabber on about how she grips her sword and how good she looks in her armor. The general impression about you is that you're a tough fighter, a true warrior. That's the best kind of commander. One who knows the weight of a blade in a long fight. Show them what you have. Fluent skills, painful remorse, it's a heavy shield. Those are our named items. Okay. It's again a huge list of items. Whenever the will of this too dark confirms a critical hit with. Okay. The hit with it. Chaotic evil character. It applies to negative one to a creature's damage roll until the end of combat. Stack up to 5 times. Okay. Nice. I mean, this stuff, you ain't got the money for right now. So why am I even looking at it? Truthfully. More lockpicks. All these normal weapons we can look at doing away with. start from the top, I guess. Cold iron, I'm going to try to keep some cold iron stuff just because that's a great cold iron that is +1 with cold iron, so we don't need this great axe. We got a cold iron masterwork long spear, so we don't need that one. Wait, what's the difference between these two then? That's a reach weapon. This one isn't. Okay, we get rid of that one. This is a WOTR cold iron, and didn't we have another one up here? That's a great axe. So we can get rid of that one. Currently don't have anybody that can use this exotic. Either one of those. Okay. Okay. Okay, we are. I gotta look at the rest of the bows. Rest of everybody's equipment to make sure that everybody has some means of doing some kind of long distance damage. That's what I mean by that. Man, we got. You know, get rid of that too. Let's get rid of all this basic stuff. Non-enchanted stuff. That gave us a little bit of cash. I'm still not going to try to figure that out right now. Alright.
I'm gone.
Already went in the field medic. So let's go into Oh, we got more stuff. The chapel tent. Altar of Torak, the father of creation and dwarven god of craft and kin. Altar of Aristal. Neomedes. This place has been sanctified. It can protect the earth. Okay, that's no sand rain. Okay. Okay. Oh no, you can't get up there. Okay. Yep, there's more stuff. What's this recruit doing?
We do it my way.
Is that it? Okay, that's the commander's tent. Okay, so we've made it to
Follow
all the places. Oh, got more stuff to pick. Okay, before we talk to anybody in here, we're gonna grab all the stuff, go back to that quartermaster dude. Oh. Put stuff in here. Save some of our weight. Even though that's probably what I should have done in the downtime. Let's look at everybody's equipment and make sure we got. Do we have anybody that does unarmed? I don't know. But that's 0.1 pounds, so I'll let that stay. Okay. All right. Sorry, I know this is kind of a slow start to today's stream. Let's get your supply would do a wine shop proud. Did the crusade really need this much alcohol? With a smile shyly. Don't think I'm trying to encourage drunkenness among our crusaders. It's all in good fun, a way to blow off some steam. When a soldier can gather by the fire and raise a cup to honor both the living and the dead, it reminds them that life goes on. But those who drink to excess or to the detriment of their duties won't get a drop from me. There's no sight more depressing than a drunkard. Show me what you have. More bulk selling and get rid of those. Don't need those. You know what? Let's just. I'll probably hate it, regret it, and I have to come back and buy stuff from them. But let's just try to keep more of the unique stuff instead of normal. Even though I don't know if this is like in Baldur's Gate, where every now and then you came across somebody that protected themselves from non-normal weapons, like magical weapons and stuff. And so you always had to try to have like a couple normal weapons with you, just so that you can do damage to those select, or somehow be able to dispel them. Okay. That feels fine. Okay, let's go talk to these people in the tent now. Enter Hawkblade. My respects, but I hope you'll be able to spare me some time after all the formalities. Happy to help the cause, Commander. Sosiel. To meet you, Commander. Okay, so time to talk to the Queen. The Queen greets you with a stare. She has dropped the pompous air with which she just announced the Fifth Crusade. The face of a ruler of men that appears calm and thoughtful. She has made her move and now waits her opponent's reply.
Commander, I'm satisfied with the troop review, but I do not expect they will be sufficient for the task. You will have to prove yourself a shrewd leader and hire the necessary troops with the provided funds.
What provided funds?
I have chosen a target for your campaign, and that target is Dresden, our lost outpost within the World Wound. The Sword of Valor was kept there, a banner that was once carried by Iomade herself. Our greatest relic was lost when the city fell. I should make one thing clear from the start. The Sword of Valor is no mere symbol, but a powerful weapon against demons. The holiness of the banner weakens them, and robs them of one of their most dangerous abilities, teleportation.
Okay.
A forced march to Dresden awaits you. The Sword of Valor is kept somewhere within the Citadel. The demons probably think it's a hunting trophy. Its recovery is just as important as retaking the city itself. I hope the task is clear. I'm sending 2 specialists to help you, along with the soldiers. A historian, Nura Denduar, and a cleric, Sosiel.
Queen nods to the human man and the young halfling woman standing next to her.
One of the famous inquisitors of the Church of Iomade also wants to talk to you. The Honorable Leota, whom everyone calls Hawkblade.
Hawkblade, okay.
I do not wish to keep you, Commander. The matter I must discuss with you is extremely important, but it is not directly related to the Crusade. You no doubt wish to meet your new comrades and speak with Her Majesty. Therefore, I shall leave you now, but I ask that you seek me out in the camp at your earliest convenience.
Okay.
Hi! Listen, it's amazing here. It's like I'm in a ballad. There's knights in shining armor, deadly dangers, glorious feats. We are going to show those demons! I'm so tired of sitting in a library reading books about history. It's time I took part in it!
Is this Lindsay?
I'm glad to help our cause, Commander. If you have some time later, I'd like to speak with you further.
Okay, Sosiel.
You'll have plenty of time to talk. You're the Knight Commander's people now, his trusted advisors and companions. Now then, will you please leave us? Irabeth, you can go too.
What this? When we met at the Defender's Heart, I never imagined you'd make me the commander of the new crusade.
Some actions may be deemed bold or even extreme, and beyond those, there are some you might call the Queen's last resort. I am not a simple monarch. I am at war with the Abyss, a war which has lasted over 100 years. I cannot allow myself the luxury of caution. In you, I see a chance, and I am willing to stake everything on it.
Okay.
However, you cannot blame me for putting you in charge of the crusade. I only formalized what had already happened in the hearts and minds of many. People spoke of the power that descended upon you and helped you save the Wardstones from corruption and total destruction. Word of this feat quickly spread far beyond the borders of Mendev. There was no other person who could better fit the role of Knight Commander of the Fifth Crusade.
So you're saying I just kind of walked into it? I have some questions about my mission to retake Dresden.
Of course. I shall answer.
How did the demons manage to conquer Dresden?
That's a good question. Its walls were built by dwarf craftsmen, and the power of the Sword of Valor protected the city. Alas, where raging hordes failed, a single lying tongue was all they needed to succeed. The demoness Minago convinced a young and ambitious crusader named Staunton Vane that the banner belonged on the battlefield. He went on a daring and unapproved raid, and the banner ended up in the enemy's hands. The city fell soon after. Ever since then, for 7 decades, it has served as a citadel for the forces of the Abyss.
Okay. Staunton Vaughn. I saw him at the Great Garrison. He defected to the demon side?
Oh, really? I wasn't informed of this. After Dresden fell because of Staunton, he was nearly sentenced to death. He deserved it. In wartime, men are hanged for far less. But you have no idea what a terrible sight it is. A raging crowd of crusaders baying for blood. Never have my fighters looked so much like the demons we are fighting.
Okay.
I commuted Staunton's sentence and stripped him of his rank. Not just for him, but for my army and my country. We are not Hell Knights. We do not maintain discipline with public executions.
Hell Knights. Hell Knights are the collection of knightly orders with a unique focus on the promulgation of law. Unlike paladins, they are interested less in social good and charity than in the foundation and the stringent maintenance of order at all costs. If people cannot be trusted to obey the law out of their own sense of civility and social righteousness, Hell Knights prove the need to obey out of fear of the Master's stern hand. Yeah, we're gonna go with this, the second one. You punished him with a life of disgrace and humiliation, and that life finally broke him. It's sad, but not surprising, because in our interactions with him, he first slashed at her, angry, upset, and she ran away, and then the second time he actually defended her. So I think he's kind of torn within himself. And like the first time, he was blaming everything on her instead of realizing that, yeah, you had a huge part to play in that betrayal. Yeah, she lied to you and whatnot, but you allowed yourself to be lied to. So if something sounds too good to be true, it usually is.
Perhaps exile would have been a more merciful sentence than decades of service among those who despised him. I was hoping he might atone for his guilt with a heroic act, but he likely decided that atonement was impossible, and he might as well give himself over to evil.
Yeah, that's kind of what... I don't know if he's fully given himself over, but he's definitely torn. What forces are at my disposal?
Everyone we saw today at the parade. First among them, the Eagle Watch, who remain a powerful force thanks to Irabeth's resourcefulness. Also marching with you are several minor knightly orders, as the minor volunteer units like to be called. And finally, I have personally selected some recruits from Neurosian. They have little
Gross.
in the way of battle experience, but great determination and a thirst to prove themselves. I've always thought that an army benefits from at least one such unit.
Okay.
These forces, as I said, are not enough for a march on Dresden. You will have to hire additional troops with the funds that have been provided to you.
What fun.
But for a brave commander, and I hope you are one, that is just the beginning. If you retake Dresden, recover the holy power of the Sword of Valor, and gain a foothold in the region, then new armies will join under your banner. The Fifth Crusade is only beginning. Many battles and victories lie ahead.
It's been decades and no one has managed to retake the city. Why do you think we're different?
We have a chance now that we haven't seen in decades. But it's more than that. You created this chance for us by foiling the demon's plans in Canabris. The army who attacked the city came straight from Dresden. Demon hordes from the Abyss are usually encamped there, but many of them perished on the streets of Canabris.
Oh, so this is why you want us to attack them, because now they overreach. We smacked their hand, and now there's nothing back at Dresden. So that's why you want us to strike back at Dresden.
We must attack swiftly before they can restore their forces. When the city is free and the Sword of Valor appears before our soldiers, they won't be sending in any more reinforcements. Demons cannot teleport into an area protected by the banner of the goddess.
Okay. What about long-term goals? Do you know how to get rid of the world wound forever?
Now you are talking like a real knight commander. However, answering your question is not easy. To win this war, we must bar the demon's way. There are a few planar rifts leading to the Abyss across the territory we call the World Wound. The best specialists we could find have tried to close them on separate occasions, with no success, as you may have guessed.
Okay.
The World Wound is more than just a chain of portals to the Abyss. We do not understand its nature yet. The methods of rift closure known to magical science simply do not work here. However, we have a hypothesis, and a rather well-grounded one, that we must begin at the source of the problem, the place where the World Wound was opened.
Okay.
The main rift lies through the city of Iz and the Threshold Fortress, deep in the former lands of Socorus. We have never managed to fight our way so far and gain a foothold to allow the mages to explore the origins of the World Wound. So, the next step, after you succeed in Dresden, is an offensive push deeper into the World Wound, with the aim of reaching Threshold, the very threshold of the Abyss.
Okay. No more questions on this.
Wonderful.
Did you know that the souls of angels from heaven are confined in Wardstone?
I had guessed as much. Many angels fought alongside us in the First Crusade. Heaven was unable to mobilize its full might to aid us, but individual celestials volunteered to fight for our cause. Then one day, they all vanished, saying that they were setting off on an important mission. Not long after, Iomede's herald erected the first wardstone in Canobris, and then the others in cities across Mendev. Even back then, I had nagging doubts, but my faith in Iomede easily assuaged them. It is for us to serve the goddess after all, not to question her works. Nevertheless, I am pleased that you solved the mystery of the wardstone in Canobris, and were able to save this gift of Iomede. It was a deed worthy of a knight commander of the Fifth Crusade.
You should know I received an unusual gift in the caves beneath Canabris. In a vision, I saw the death of an angel called L'Oreal. Somehow, he was able to grant me the ability to reveal the light of heaven.
Lariel. I knew him.
Lariel.
He disappeared shortly before the World Wound grew, and Dresden fell into the enemy's hands. In the chaos, we had more important concerns than investigating the fate of a single angel. Even one so righteous and beloved as Lariel. And afterward, matters took a turn for the worse. The angels left us to go on their special mission. It is so strange to hear the names I used to hear when I was young, like getting a message from the past. It is sad news, but it brings me back to the times when we strongly believed in our victory, and we rushed headlong toward it without fear. Could it be that such times have come again?
And what are you going to do?
Overlooking a spot of insubordination just at the moment. However, I shall answer you. I shall prepare the defenses at Nerosian and all the other border cities and plan the future of the Fifth Crusade. Does that satisfy your curiosity, Knight Commander?
We don't have this anymore, right? Yeah, I can click it. Okay. McQueen, I'd ask you to remain with us. The Dresden campaign is the hope of the crusade, and the blessing of Iomade that you carry may be decisive in this battle.
I hear. A polite attempt to appeal to the conscience of an old sovereign? I don't know if you realize what you're suggesting. If our enemies in the depths of the wound were to discover that I was with your army, they would immediately send their most vicious demons to attack. They would stop at nothing to be rid of me, and thereby sow chaos across Mendev. But you are right. I shouldn't be sitting it out in the rear. I am a warrior queen, and a queen of warriors. Yet my fighters have forgotten what I look like. Fine. I shall join the crusade, but on my own terms. First, I shall assemble my entourage and lead the parade out of the camp. I shall catch up with you later, along with a few hand-picked bodyguards. We'll change our armor, and I'll become a knight of a minor order and join the troops incognito.
Okay.
Until we approach Dresden, no one should know I am among you. But before we storm the city, I shall show myself to the troops and join the battle. Let it be a surprise for the demons. I hope you won't complain of my company on the road, Commander, since you were the one who insisted upon it. Do you have any other questions?
The task is clear.
Splendid. Ah, yes. We have one final matter to attend to. It should be rather enjoyable.
Okay.
Count, there you are. You received my instruction?
I did, though I did not have time to read the thing before I was dragged before your majesty. In truth, I was readying myself to depart.
No matter. I trust you will forgive your sovereign for the rather brusque summons, especially when you learn what prompted it. As you are aware, he has recently been appointed my Knight Commander of the Fifth Crusade. I spent a long while pondering whom to appoint to the highly sensitive post of Commander's Field Attaché and Advisor Plenipotentiary without portfolio. Congratulations, Count.
He's my attaché.
It is a great honor, I suppose.
We'll stay with lawful since we've been doing it this run. Rather frivolous gesture for a queen.
The adequacy of any measure can only be assessed against the reason that prompted it. Isn't that so, Count? I had my doubts about whether you were ready for such a responsibility, Count. But your conduct in Kenobris has put my mind at ease. So, you will travel with the troops to Dresden. Only the commander may remove you from your post. But I trust that you will dutifully fulfill his orders and make a good showing of yourself.
He's assigned under me now.
Especially since word of your appointment, Count, will reach the court at any moment. All of Mendev's nobility will be following your successes in service to the nation, including all of your devoted admirers. I even heard that one bard with whom you are particularly friendly has already begun composing a ballad to honor your heroic participation in the crusade and your faithful service to the commander here.
She played him.
Your largesse truly knows no bounds, dear cousin. I am most gratified by the honor you have shown me.
Then let's get going. May Ayomide help us.
She done played him. What are you doing in here? Aneva sweeps an inquisitive glance over you. So tell me straight, how'd that brawl at the Great Garrison end? I heard the rumors, of course. That's kind of my job, you know, to listen. You've no idea what cobblers and crusaders say about you. Some say that Ayomide came to you and appointed you her herald. Others say that you died and an honest to God's angel is now leading the army disguised as you. Still others say it was just an explosion at an alchemical lab, and I'm the one spreading rumors about your powers. I wish. But you know, you really have changed since the Great Garrison. It's hard to describe, but you're become kinda... Neve waves a hand trying to find the word. More charismatic? More dangerous. I have a gut instinct about these things. If I didn't, I'd already be dead. You're dangerous, Commander, and by Desna, I hope you'll be dangerous to our enemies and not to us, or to yourself. Yeah, we already talked to all that about you. Alright, I have to go. Alright, you watch yourself now. No, we're not going to rest yet. Let's go outside. We got those people to talk to. Alright. Allow me to say, Commander, allow me to say something. Everybody looks even more serious than usual. Before you, this wasn't a war. It was agony, drawn out over decades. No one believed in victory anymore. When the demons attacked the city, for some of it, it was relief. At least the end had come. They laid down their weapons and surrendered without a fight. I felt the same thing, but I somehow got through on stubbornness and the vague hope that if nobody found Aneva's body, she might by some miracle have survived, and that miracle was you. You returned my beloved to me when I nearly lost all hope of seeing her alive again. Then you went on a suicide mission to the Great Garrison and won the city back for us. You turned a defeat into a victory. I know it wasn't easy, but you make everything seem so effortlessly. You do everything just like that. Okay, I'll talk to him later. The Queen believes in your powers too, but for me, they're just more proof of what I felt that day when I saw Neva alive standing next to you. You're the miracle we've been waiting for. You're the one who will finally put an end to this terrible war, and in spite of everything, deliver us the victory we so desperately need. With you, I'm sure this crusade will achieve what the others could not. I found a scabbard with your family name on it in the Great Garrison. Everett looks out. This scabbard held the solemn hour, my family sword. My father once fought with it, and I took it when I left home to become a paladin. Alas, it was not stolen. I parted with my helm willingly to help someone dear to me, and even needed expensive healing, and I have no other way to procure the money. I pawned my father's sword. I think he would have understood. I'm sure he would have given up everything to help the family. I hoped to redeem the solemn hour eventually, but there was never enough money, and soon the sword disappeared from the pawn shop altogether. I have no idea who took it. Seems like I'll have to part with my father's sword forever. Is Aneva sick? You'll forgive me if I don't go into detail. It is a private matter. Suffice to say, everything is fine now. The treatment was costly, but it was worth it. I can see that you truly love her. Delicate blush appears on Erebeth's cheeks. She nods silently. With lovingly traces the name imprinted in the silver on the scabbard's leather. My parents were loyal servants, yet it wasn't enough to earn them a title or a coat of arms. Still, however humble our name might be, it is worth something. I don't know if I'll ever see the solemn hour again, so I guess we're going to see the solemn hour. But at least I have his scabbard back. Thank you. So it turns out that the Queen has her head of counterintelligence watching me. I wonder why. You think the Queen doesn't trust you? If that were true, she wouldn't have put you in charge of this army. My main task is to be your advisor until you've gained enough experience as a commander. As for counterintelligence, Neva and I were tasked with keeping an eye on your inner circle. But you're not under suspicion, Commander. You're under our protection. It's hard to believe your origin is so humble. You deserve a noble title more than many who inherit them. Thank you, Commander. It is an honor to hear that, especially from you. Every noble family begins somewhere. You must have heard the recent story from the Stolen Lands, which I'm still playing in the River Kingdoms. Just imagine coming from nowhere and making it all the way to a royal crown in just a few years. Haven't made it to a royal crown yet. Sometimes I wonder what would happen if I managed to distinguish myself somehow. But then I push away such unworthy, selfish thoughts. Of course, we don't fight for rewards. We fight for the fate of the world is at stake. And yet, every blush deepens and she falls silent. I thought so. Just give me a second. It looked like my camera done froze again. Why is it doing that? And it doesn't want to come back up. Just, you gotta love when it does stuff like this, right? There we go. We need reinforcements. Can you get us more soldiers? frowns. When we began to march on Dresden, we chose speed over numbers. If I order more volunteers to be recruited, they simply won't arrive in time. We could pay mages to deliver the troops to the camp, except I doubt that our army's coffers could afford it. If you can spare 7,500 gold coins, I'll see to our reinforcements. You have your orders. Consider it done. It says goodbye with a short bow. Okay, so now we get more troops in. Let's go back in there. Oh, we got more stuff to loot now. Okay. More stuff again. Emma is bobbing her head and humming a tune. She greets you with a carefree, cheerful smile. Her wandering eyes linger on you for just a moment before darting off again into the distance. How are you handling your new abilities? Abilities? Girl tilts her head on the shoulder. What are you talking about? Ah, the tricks you learned when the big gray house blew up. They're funny. Thanks for teaching them to me. Okay. The Queen gave me the title of Knight Commander and put me in charge of an army. What do you think about that? Dell focuses her wandering gaze on your eyes, smiles and shakes her head. Don't believe titles. All of us in the world are children of the street, barefoot, hungry, scared. Step away from death. Some imagine they're strong and rich, like gods, but don't forget who you really are behind the title. Truth in your words. There's truth. I have to go. So go. The dwarf watches you with a radiant smile as you leave. She's funny. Happy to be of service, and may Shaylin brighten and vivify your day. Ava, what is this thing doing in our camp? It is under my supervision. Since the day we were blessed with this shiny chatterbox, may Shaylin brighten and vivify its day. There have been 16 attempted deaths, 2 by those I had entrusted with protecting it. Okay. You think we should have left it in a ravaged city so some smart Alec could chop it up? No. It's now the property of the Crusade, which means I'm going to stand guard over it even if I have to keep this beautiful oath in the command tent. Okay. Happy to be of service, and may shine and brighten and verify your day. Yeah. About that. So we're walking around again. This should be the same spot, right? So we probably won't find anything new out here on the outskirts of the camp. Still good to look, right? Let's take a quick look at the map. Okay.
I do what I must. Interesting.
Oh, there's still more loot out here. Oh boy, there you are. Very good. Just in time. You will be delighted to know that I need you for an experiment. This shit. So the Great Garrison stands ruthless. Demons are running for the hills with their tails between their legs. Mendev's queen, what's her name? It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh yes, Galfrey is scurrying to and fro, and all this is somehow connected to you, my loyal follower. Thus far, there is no scientific evidence of your exceptionality. If one discounts blind faith and divine intervention, which I do, we, people of science, refuse to believe in the inexplicable without any proof. We are the ones who explain the inexplicable. Neo punctures her statement with an energetic sweep of her arm, and therefore, open your mouth and say "ah" for me. Why? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to study you. Come along. Don't stand in the way of science. What does my mouth have to do with my new abilities? Perhaps there's no connection, or perhaps there is a direct connection. We'll never know unless we try to find out. Sure. Peers into our mouth with a practice eye. Alright, your throat's fine. Tongue looks perfectly normal. Your breath, your smell is in line with the regular function of the digestive system. Now for your teeth. She sticks one hand in your mouth and probes each of your teeth in turn with the skill of a seasoned dentist. No detectable alterations. By the way, did you know that many individuals, while being wholly civilized representatives of their races, still have an amazing, powerful bite? As if suddenly recalling something, Nino promptly pulls her hand out of your mouth. Are you really trying to find a correlation between fang length and civility? Nino seems slightly embarrassed. For the good of science, I look for correlations everywhere and in everything. How can you prove there's no correlation if you don't bother to look for one? If someone gets on my nerves, I can bite hard enough too. Can you? We definitely must test that someday, but not today. Now, we are conducting an experiment of a different kind. Moving on. Alright, what do we have next? Ears. Let's check your hearings. Testing. Yells right in your ear and nods in satisfaction as she observes your reaction. Right, hearing is fine. What's fine? But don't worry, it's scientifically proven that it should return to normal soon. Next, circles. Eyes are clear, posture is satisfactory, lip length is standard, no lice. She stops, rubs her chin in contemplation, and in a slightly dejected tone says, "Boy, you are a picture of health. It's a pity. I was expecting to find some anomaly. Well, now let's assess your mental state." Great. Imagine a hypothetical situation. You are a tree. Two squirrels have found their way into your hollow and are now copulating there. What do you do? It's either this one or this one. Either let them copulate. Why should they care? Or I'll do precisely nothing because I'm a tree. Let's let them copulate. Why should I care? An unconscious act of good, allowing two lesser creatures to procreate while protecting them during this crucial important process. On to the next question, another hypothetical situation. You are a tomato. You have just been picked from the vegetable patch and put in a crate. You know that today the cook will use half of the tomatoes from your crate to make soup. What do you do? If I'm going to be eaten, there's nothing much I can do. That's the fate of a tomato. An unconscious act of submitting to the unspoken rules and laws underpinning the functioning of the universe. Yes, it is all quite clear to me. Angelic self-sacrifice in the face of certain death and angelic concern for lesser creatures. You certainly have something of an angel in you. On that note, I deem this experiment complete. Thank you for your participation. Looks at you pensively and then gestures at you with a wide sweep of her arm. And yet, you remain a puzzle to me. I love puzzles. One of these days, I will solve you completely, unless I forget. Now I have time to answer your questions. Come on, ask away. Yeah, I'm not wasting any more time asking questions right now. She's fun to talk to, though. Bit kooky. We still got those guys patrolling. Let's check down here before we actually go out. Hilar. Hyla. Hyla nods approvingly. You earned the title of commander. Canabra still stands thanks to you, but you'll have to be doubly on your guard. Your eminence places a target on your back, and there are assassins about. Killing a high-ranking crusader would bring a demon far from prestige than killing a common soldier. Not long ago, I stymied a few of the Spinner of Nightmares attempts on the lives of influential crusaders, so I know what I'm talking about. Do you know anything about a Pathfinder named Feninin Dismar? Let me think. Dismar. I've definitely heard the name before. Of course you have. I'm a Pathfinder too. So you're the chief in these lands now. How about Lady Aurea? When I left for the moon, she had just taken up the position. He'll examine the talking weapon and chuckles sadly. I'm afraid Aurea perished during the Third Crusade. Yes, now I'm Feninin Dismar went missing in the wound at the end of the Second Crusade. His name has been on the list of the fallen for a while. Here I am, alive and well. Right on your list that I'm back, and soon I'll file a detailed report about everything that happened to me. Finn's voice is full of joy. I knew it was a misunderstanding, but now everything will return to normal. I need to write to my folks. They probably think I'm dead too. Hilly shakes his head sadly. Poor lad. But such is the fate of a Pathfinder. We face the unknown, but sometimes the unknown wins, and our minds cannot take it. Which influential crusaders did you save from the Spinner of Nightmares? I've been hunting the Spinner of Nightmares for over a year. My agents, by the time I'd created a proper network, reports to me that she returned to Neurosian. Is that what the queen said? Neurosian? I immediately suspected that she was planning a great atrocity. By that time, I learned all too well that the spinner was master of illusions and charms. That's why I never left the house without this. Hilla takes a monocle from his pocket and puts it on carefully. This is the eye of truth. It allows me to see through illusions. My friend got it from the priest of Nethys. However, neither this monocle nor my network of agents were adequate to prevent the attacks, and we were nearly too late. The Spinner of Nightmares decided to strike at the Cruciform Cathedral. They had gathered to celebrate the victory of the First Crusade. It was a great holiday, and there was a lavish ceremony at the cathedral. An influential priest, Anthoclitus, was in charge of the festivities. They were intended to crown him with the tiara, a symbol of his high status, but the sacred tiara had been replaced. The spinner had obtained an Incutilus, a sentient and rather ominous cephalopod from the other end of the world. She raised it from an elver and trained it carefully, and she cast an illusion on it so that everyone would see it as a tiara. The moment its shell was placed on Anthoclitus' head, the cephalopod would release its tentacles and penetrate the priest's skull. Its poison would seep into his brain, and it would seize control over Anthoclitus' dead body. Fortunately, we were able to stop this madness in time. I spotted the spinner of nightmares in the crowd, chased her down, and we ended up crossing swords on the roof of the cathedral. I nearly defeated her, but she fled upon a giant stallion, which was able to run across the air as if it was on the ground. I was so close to catching her. She suffered a setback, but I let her escape. Angry smile shows he hasn't made peace with this failure. Okay, I have to go. Watch your back. Only trust your closest friends. The enemies is cunning and treacherous. Okay, yeah, that's our Pathfinder dude. We'll talk to Grandma and them again in a minute. Let's talk to Lan. What do you think of what happened in Great Garrison? Do you feel a change in yourself? It's hard not to notice when the demons start running away from you like a flock of frightened bats. The powers granted by Alomade to defeat demons. Lan raises his hand above his head and pensively scratches behind his single horn. Since I was a kid, I've taken whatever I've been given and used it as best I can. Anything goes when you're trying to survive. It doesn't matter where your blessings come from. We can think about that when we're old, if we live that long. But you know, this time, even I'm not so sure. A divine power that just appears out of nowhere, sooner or later we'll have to pay for it. I'd like to know what the price will be. Okay, you're sensible. Thanks for your answer. So long. Alright. Oh, we have more people out here this time.
I'm gone.
Finally, a crusade. It's our time we destroyed the demonic abominations. Okay. Okay, let's go back the other way. Okay, nothing out there, alright. Camellia. Greetings. Neat smile on Camilla's lips disappeared so quick you almost wonder if it imagined it. So you're Hargreaves' daughter? You discovered my most terrible secret. Father cared so much about the worm name that he raised me in our mansion, hiding me away from the whole world. I'll always be grateful to my father for everything he's done for me, even if Mendev society disapproves of some of his decisions. Would it be insolent of me to beg for your discretion regarding what you know about us? Camilla's words are polite, but her tone grows cold and sharp. Let us keep this our little secret. I assure you, my father and I appreciate loyalty and decency. For both myself and my father, I thank you for your understanding. I found a number of interesting implements and accessories in the worm mentioned. How kind of you to share that You've gone through the worm's dirty laundry and drawn some bizarre conclusions. If you value my company, please refrain from making such insinuous insinuations in the future. What do you think of the powers you receive from me? Camille shrugs nonchalantly. People of noble descent grow accustomed to ample opportunity. The powers I receive from you are useful, but I see no point in treating them with excess piety. Okay, I have to go. This. Okay, let's. Give me the loot. Give me the loot.
There's something here.
Okay. Let's talk to good old Herger's worm. Herger's worm has been expecting you. Thumb stuck in his belt. There you are. I've been waiting. As you see, I too have joined the crusade. I don't know how to swing the sword, but war is costly, and I have money. Besides, my intellect and business sense may prove useful even on the battlefield. Besides, I believe I owe you an apology. The way I behaved was rude, ill-mannered. You are an honest and honorable person. You have clawed your way up from the bottom of society to the title of Knight Commander, and you are friends with Queen Galfrey herself. Such persistence deserves respect. Gergis tilts his head in a brief acknowledgement of your merits. Please allow me to give you this magic amulet from my humble personal treasury to mark our future cooperation. Amulet of blackened mirror. All this is just going to be repeat. I will repeat it if you ask, but you know it all already, and I only repeat it out of respect for you. I prefer to recall the story as infrequently as possible. Yeah, we already know all this. We'll just click on the stuff to get it from being bold so that aren't you afraid I'll reveal your secrets to everyone? Oh, you threaten me? I've invested a lot of money in your crusade, and I will invest even more. And yet you think to humiliate me in front of everyone? That's not going to work. If a scandal breaks out, it will be your word against mine. And I've been known as Hooker's Growing for several decades. I own a vast estate outside Cannabis and a share of the local quarry. I will defend my good name to the end. I was just asking a question, dude. Your claims would seem like foul slander. I'll see to that. Fern becomes blotchy and his eyes nearly pop out of their sockets. He calms himself with visible effort. However, I do hope it won't come to any of that. We're all here for a common cause, victory over the demons, and I intend to see this business through. Why have you decided to support the Crusades now? With all due respect, that's none of your business. I have my reasons. Perhaps I felt a rush of patriotism when Cannabis was destroyed. Anyway, why would you think I never supported the Crusades? Perhaps I simply don't like to brag about my donations. A strenuously charity only attracts beggars. I wager that Irba has no idea whose money she's spending on drinks and supplies. Why did you hide the fact that Camellia is your daughter? Didn't I tell you this in the mansion? Yeah, we already. How did Camellia's mother die? I'm not going to tell you about that. Some things ought to remain private. What can you tell me about Count Darren Andred? Nobles are connected with each other, shouldn't they? He's a brilliant young man with a brilliant pedigree, and that's the story of his. The nobility is the glue that keeps our society together. I suppose that is why demons so often choose their estates as primary targets. Notice the demons' bloody massacre, they only slaughter poor country folk. Okay, this is... yeah, we already know that. Okay. Woodruff is standing repeatedly flipping a coin into the air and chatting, catching it. He looks bored, but the tip of his tail is twitching nervously. Noticing you, he perks up. Hey, Chief, how about letting me go? Why would you need a thief in your party? What if I rob you in your sleep? I mean, I'm not going to, for now, but what if I get a rush of inspiration? What do you think of your new powers? Of my new powers? Pauses to think rubbishing. You mean what you did back there? I have a few ideas. We could send you to P-Tax underground arena to fight. Give you a scary name like Swiftsting or something like that. Give you a great cover story. Enemies burnt down in your house. You're avenging your dead family. The public eats that stuff up. You'll wear a shiny, eye-catching outfit, or a black one if you like black better. We'll split the prize money 60-40. 60 for me, of course. You know, arranging fights isn't easy. Those people are tough. I'll be taking more risks than you. And after we get set up in Petex, we'll tour different cities. Make some real money. What, you don't like the sound of that? Let's hear your other suggestions. Grins, his yellow eyes lighten up. I got one more. Have you heard of Rasmarian? It's some land in the River Kingdoms ruled by King Rasimir. A friend of mine used to live in Rasmarian. He got out of there as fast as he could. Long story short, this King Rasimir of theirs is a god. He keeps his people under his heel. They're all terrified of what he might do. He sits on his throne wearing some white mask, giving power to anyone. Come and take power from me, he says, so long as you believe in me. But that friend of mine, the one who fled, has a half-sister on his old man's side who's a cook in the castle and a washerwoman who the cook plays cards with in the evening. Told her a juicy rumor. Word is Rasimir isn't a real god at all, and he's got no powers. So here's my point. You do have powers, pretty scary ones too. We'll find some shabby little kingdom. I'll start some rumors. You'll show off a few tricks to wow the locals, and that's it. We'll make you a deity. But first, I want you to put it in writing that I'll be your chief advisor. I'm not doing anything just on the nod. Excuse me. I've been there. People promise you mountains of gold, and then when it comes to it, they all get lost, or I'll set the dogs on you. So, do you like the idea? Call myself a god and deceive people? That's disgusting. Cleaning privys is disgusting. Deceiving the entire kingdom is an art. You're not appreciating what it is I'm offering you, Chief. I don't make offers like that to just anyone, you know. I want to know more about you. How much is more? Are your family tieflings too? My family's an interesting story, actually, but I don't tell it to just anyone. My father and mother had a bakery. Their life was great, but the good gods never blessed them with any children. One day my mother went to the river to wash some clothes and saw a basket floating downstream. Inside the basket was a baby, adorable and chubby and fast asleep. It was yours truly. In my mind, I was a note spritzed with expensive perfume that said, "Take care of my little angel." My mother brought me home, and she and my father realized right away that I was heaven sent. They raised me as their own. When I turned 15, my mother showed me my baby blanket. It was embroidered with the coat of arms of an unknown kingdom, all in gold thread. Ever since then, I've been looking for my real parents. But it's not easy. Traveling takes money. So if you have a few gold coins, I'll pay you back as soon as I find my real family. I give you my word. Yeah, that doesn't sound very believable, especially when he talked about his grandmother before and that omelet. That doesn't sound very believable. Usually everyone just believes everything I say. People love stories like that. You know, a cute baby, a basket, a blanket. What's not to love? They look at me differently, as if I'm worthy more than just because the sheets I up on might have had a fancy coat of arms on them. Woljif laughs bitterly. If I was really a prince, I wouldn't be sitting around here, I can tell you that much. I'd have already gone to take what was rightfully mine. And then I'd come back with the army, so I could watch the guards and the merchants who pushed me around all my life, bowing straight before me. But that's not going to happen. Want to hear the real story? True story is boring. My family is human. Both my father and my mother. They used to live in a village nearby. I forgot the name. When my mom had me, my old man got so mad he almost killed her, pinned her to the wall, and started asking questions like why his son had horns in the tail. Well, my mom told him that her mother, my grandma, used to fool around with the demon. When he heard this, Daddy Dearest got drunk, thrashed the house, and then took off. I don't remember any of this, of course. My grandma told me. I was about 3 years old when my mother brought me to Canaveras and left me with my grandma. She said to her, "You and your demon have ruined my life. Now you handle them." Then she left. I haven't seen her or my dad since. She did leave a blanket though. That part was true, but my grandma burnt it because it was infested with lice. It wasn't even good enough to use as a rag. You think after all that my grandmother saw the light, felt rightly ashamed, and kissed my horns? I wish. Woodruff grins nastily, his yellow eyes flash. People used to give her trouble for fooling around with the demon. She wasn't welcome anywhere, so she got angry. Normal kids get bedtime stories, see? But the only tales I got told were how my dad was worthless and my ma was a slut. And I was a demon spawn that no one cared about. She only kept me so I could help around the house and still think she needed. So that's the truth. Okay. How did you become a tiefling? A thiefling, not tiefling. I already was a tiefling, and life made me a thief. I've been in this business since I was a kid. My grandma used to say, if you don't work, you don't eat. And she gave me as an apprentice to Yeager, a tiefling neighbor of ours. He was a cunning old geezer. He knew how to take a purse off somebody's belt, how to cut open bags undetected, even do some magic. I used to climb through basement windows and open doors from the inside while I was still small enough. And when I grew and stopped fitting through the windows, I decided I was done with my education. I paid my grandma for everything she'd done for me, which was absolutely nothing. Why would I feed her if she wasn't bringing me any money? If you don't work, you don't eat. So I took off. I got bored of my teacher too, but when I as much as hinted at leaving, he said I owed him for my education. So I just nodded, and then I joined the Owlbears, the gang that ran our district, and told them that Ego was working their territory. I don't know what happened to him, but I stayed with the Owlbears. Then their leader started giving me the cold shoulder. I did steal from him, but never that much, so I had to rat them out to the guards. Then I joined the Golden Hands. That was a good time. Rich pickings. I would have stayed with the Golden Hands, but the Northmen promised me a bigger cut if I told them where the Golden Hands kept their loot. I'm no fool, of course, so I told them. This dude is backstabbing everybody. After that, I only had one option, to join the Northmen. And then the family came. At first, no one took them seriously, calling them thieflings and all that, but I felt it right away. They had power behind them, and they had more money. I'm always on the winner's side, Chief. That's why I joined the Thieflings. And right on time, some thugs came from the capital and made the Northmen leave. The ones who survived are in the family now, too. Tell me about the Thieflings. Alright, I won't tell you everything, mine, but I can tell you a little. The Thieflings are Mendavian thieves. The gang was started in Mendav, capital, by someone or other, and soon after, they spread all over Galarian. They're also called the family. You know what? Because us thieflings are easy to spot. Wherever we go, guards always hassle us asking, "Are you lost or something, Hornhead?" We usually say we're visiting family. And if they say, "Oh yeah, who?" we give them the name of a local thiefling who confirms everything, even if he's never seen you before in his life. That's why we're all brothers and sisters. There are rules. Who does what? Who gets what cut? I won't say it's a lot, but they make it worth your while. They even heal you if you take an arrow. But the biggest no-no is this. You don't steal from the family. If you don't contribute to the share pot, you get the cold shoulder. You won't be treated like family no more. And then everyone Everyone to hear that you went to visit some relatives who have a farm someplace. Our best guess? The farm is in some underground well beneath Canaveras, where they breed grave worms. If Sister Kirismere, our boss, looked the other way more often, I'd really be able to spread my wings. Yeah, stealing from someone you call a sister, that's low. Birds fly low before a storm. I'm just surviving as best I can. We'll just fix you with the look. Imagine the situation, Chief. You're 7 years old. You come home, and your own grandma, your family, is lying there drunk, and there's no food because she got wasted in the morning and didn't cook anything. And you know that she has a stash under the third floorboard. You take this money so as you don't starve to death. And then when she wakes up, she beats you because you should have you shouldn't have taken it. You should have stolen some food. You're a waste of space. That's something you can never understand, Chief. You only care about moral choices. You always know what's right and what's wrong. Brother, sister, grandma, mother. In real life, they're just words. Okay. What do you think of Canaveras? It used to be such a hole. Then the Crusaders and refugees came here. The things started looking up, although it depends who you ask, I suppose. Which is better steer clear of here because Iomede's followers are ferocious, especially Horwin Shapak. The local inquisitor? He's a tough old goat. I didn't see it myself, but a servant girl at the tavern told me that her second cousin's son from his third wife is a paladin. Her second cousin's son from his is a paladin, and he said that Holrun takes an unsheathed sword with him, even to the privy, and when he sleeps, he puts it on the pillow next to him, and when he's in his cups, he strokes the blade and whispers sweetly to it. You are my one true friend. You are the only one I can rely on. Ibis giving us a hard time too. You as much as look at with some nice little bauble, and before you can think of taking it, before your fingers even twitch, she's coming for you, with her nostrils flaring and her fangs glittering. Scary woman. But even she's better than Sister Kirismere, our boss here in Canaveras. By our, I mean the Thinkling's boss. If you get caught by Erebus, it's all out in the open. Go to prison, or you end up on as wormful. But if you step on Kirismere's toes, poof, you're gone. Just like that, no one ever sees you again. All you hear is, he went to the family farm, even though he's never had a family or a farm. You have demon blood in you. Do you feel drawn to the abyss? Woljif's tail whips back and forth nervously, raising clouds of dust. Why? Are you an inquisitor or something? What's it to you? If I've wronged you somehow, just come out and say it. Don't ask me trick questions. I know how it happens. I used to know a fellow. He was married to the sister of the gods. Some shady types got him drunk one night and started asking him suspicious questions about the gods, about the queen. So he wakes up hungover with a headache. Someone's mumbling something. It smells like smoke, and his feet are kind of hot. He looks down, and there's a fire under him, and the prelate is reading out his sentence. Your shadow looks strange. What kind of magic is that? What? Ladies and gentlemen, roll up, roll up. No dark magic, no fraud. A trick without a deception. Woljif snaps his fingers and blue flames engulf him. The shadow that was previously laying calmly at his feet grows, floating in the air behind him. It is the shadow of a huge horned winged demon with claws. Ta-da! It doesn't do anything. It just looks scary. I remember when I was little, an old beggar showed me and my friend how to make shadowy puppets. You put your fingers together in front of the light, and it makes the shadow of a deer or a dog or a dove on the wall. I tried so hard. I wanted to make the best shadow, and I did. It just happened. Woljif chuckles sadly. Funnily enough, that's the last time I had any real friends. They tried to stone me later, screaming at me, calling me a demon. This time I don't think I'm gonna go lawful. A tiefling is always a demon to these wimps. Even the lowest ranking drunken gnome thinks he's better than me. Just because he hasn't got horns or tail. The poorest beggar in the filthiest gutter thinks he's better than me. Most people would never show their shadow again after the first time. But I don't care. If stones start flying again, I'll just run. I'm used to it by now. Here we go. Looks fun, bro. I like it. Wardrobe chuckles, please. What about the blue fire? That's my favorite part. And it doesn't burn at all. If I had a coin for every time I caught a beating for my little show here, I'd really be proposing to Galfrey. But still, I don't want to give up something so beautiful. I want to ask you about something else. Are you really staying in the party, or are you just waiting for a chance to run off? Well, just gives you a hurt look. As if I could. There are demons and dangers around every corner. Defense, stop short. Don't you worry, Chief. I'll work off my debt honestly. I won't stab you in the back or go on the run with your money. And if you buy my wares, I won't have to leave at all. Okay, show me what you can get using your Tiefling connections. Wolger's face breaks into a happy grin. Look, Chief, the Tieflings have all the best things. Monster Hunter. Okay. Hammer of Discipline. Oh, so that quarter staff helps defend. Hell of a lot of scrolls. As well, +2 bonus to spell penetration. Wow. Okay. Is that everything? Yeah. Mysterious elf. Okay. I saw you talking to the girl hiding her face. Who is she and what did she want? I don't know, Commander. She never introduced herself, but I bet she's not a part of our army. I know all our soldiers by name and by sight. Frowns gloomily, coordinarily gone in an instant. She was looking for some elf volunteer. Wanted to know which tent he was sleeping in. At first, I thought she was a messenger from Mendel. She definitely wasn't one of us, but now I see how it all looks mighty shifty. I asked you with concern. She was some sort of spy then. Okay, I have to go. Let's actually go back to Woldref and sell our stuff. The stuff that we just picked up. Not 75. Not much, but blacksmith. More stuff. Goodness. This game definitely gives you plenty to choose from, weapon-wise. Okay. Go back this way. Continue our search throughout this area. Curl. Okay. This sailor. Oh, we got more loot.
Hello. So, what do you reckon about everything that's come crashing down on us? All the responsibility, command, this new power?
I haven't figured it out yet, but let's see what happens next.
Watching and waiting is a good strategy. Probably. I'm still frightened by what happened in the Grey Garrison. Were we really chosen? By Iomade herself? You know, back when I was a snot-nosed kid who just started down the path to becoming a paladin, I imagined once or twice that I was going to do something heroic. The lights would shine down on me, the trumpets would sing, I'd hear the voice of the goddess, or at least her herald, you know? I'd be informed that I had been chosen for a great cause. But that's the point where my imagination always failed me. Somehow, it really happened. Without all the trumpets or the herald or even anyone explaining what I had to do. Though it's clear as day, my place is here, in this demon-ridden wound. Quite a lovely war going on, in fact. Endless, I hear. I'm gonna need some time to wrap my head around this. Spare me an hour and I'll crawl into some dark corner and whine about my hard lot. What can I tell you? I cry easily.
Oh, come on now. Thank you for speaking with me. Until next time. No reason to cry. Try your eye. Alright, let's see. What else we got around here?
Follow if you dare.
Okay, there's Darian. We'll talk to him after we go into the field medic tent. I want to make sure there's nothing out here. How would I hold my hands when upraised like this? Or stout old man with fuzzy gray beard greets you with a deep bow. Well met, Commander. You've caused quite the stir. Everyone about Carnivorous was done for, but the gods had other plans. That was quite a blaze over the great garrison. All the vermin running out with their tails between their legs. Who are you? Basilius Ratimus, former rector of the Cannabis Temple of Abadar, and now your humble servant. In times like these, one cannot serve the god of cities while sitting comfortably behind city walls. You pursue a sacred cause, and I will help you in any way I can. I'll wait your orders, Commander. Lead us onward to Dresden. How did you end up on the battlefield? Everyone here has a story like that, but mine is a rather boring one. Believe it or not, it was bureaucracy. When the old rector of the Cannabis Temple died, may Abadar rest his soul, the church required a replacement. I volunteered and I served for 30 years without incident. I prayed, organized festivals and funerals, brought candles, sanctified water, boring mundane things that make up the daily routine of civilized society. But then civilized society failed and it was time for me to go to war. Praise Abadar, who led me through the ruins to the defender's heart. Who is that boy with you? This one, Kyoto, the shepherd, my apprentice, he's a smart boy, and his faith is strong. He served Aristel, though, but there's still something he can learn from an old servant. Yeah, we read this before. What kind of help can I expect from you? First, you need to grow with divine spell, and I have a lot of them. Something for every emergency. Second, oh yeah, camp, yeah, okay. One autumn haze. The elf before you casually rests his bandaged arm on the weapon at his side. He bows his head with dignity. I congratulate you on your new rank, Commander. My hunt demanded that I travel with your army. Naturally, I wouldn't burden your forces with the need to care for an outsider. I proved myself with all the necessities. I provided myself with all the necessities. Is there anything new about you? Okay. Darian. So how do you like your new role, advisor? You also enjoy poking me with that stick, don't you? Imagine it, me, a crusader. If my dearest cousin hoped to teach me a lesson, she managed it perfectly. An assignment I couldn't avoid without losing face. This idiotic journey leading straight into the demon's maws. I could have been on a pleasure boat right now, with the loveliest songstress and Petax on my arm, and a bottle of the finest Keonan wine to keep us company. Well, bring your money with us on this in the camp. Well, second thought, maybe not. There would be more of a distraction than a use. Did you also receive a fraction of that unusual power? Looks like it. I generally hoped that getting away from you would be the end of it. If your gift truly did come from Iamade, then giving me a smidgen of that power was a very subtle joke on her part. I had no idea that our divine lightbringer of Mendev even had a sense of humor. Don't get me started on my many acts of sacrilege against her. That obscene engraving, the truth about the test of the Starstone, is the tamest one by far. Okay, I should go. Sosiel.
Hello again. I'm very pleased to meet you. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
A quick stance before you ease his brush hovering over the canvas. This is a replacement of what's her name, without touching it, instead of painting the young man on glazes at the skies of Canaveras, which is still streaked with talon.
It's a pity I wasn't there at the Grey Garrison to witness your feats of strength with my own eyes. The flash, however, could be seen miles and miles away. Some people were frightened of it, thinking that the demons had blown up the remains of the keep. I, for one, knew immediately that it was a good sign. The light above the city showed us that there was still hope.
Who are you, and how could you possibly be of use to my army?
My name is Sosiel. I am a cleric of Shaylin, the Eternal Rose and the Goddess of Beauty. Yes, I know that many people would consider me useless in a war. This is not a usual war, though. Just consider our enemy. The Abyss and his demons are the very embodiment of everything evil and ugly in the world. Perhaps a disciple of kindness and beauty might come in handy. I have no doubt that we will win this war, Commander. We just have to. It is our destiny. My role is to help you, and all those standing by your side in this struggle, to survive and flourish. Everyone deserves the chance to find peace and happiness in the world that they are defending so selflessly.
Okay, what are you painting? He collects eyes linger mournfully on the canvas. The unfinished painting depicts a temple crown with the rainbow-tailed bird, the symbol of Shaylin. 5 people dressed in robes stand before the temple, men and women, young and old. They all gaze back at you with radiant happiness and joy in their serene eyes.
My brothers and sisters in faith. They sent me for help, and then they saved my life, Commander. If the Prioress hadn't ordered me to escape the city and seek help, I would have died right along with them. Instead, I met Queen Galfrey on my way to Nerosian, and hurriedly returned to Canaveras, only to find my friends dead on the steps of our desecrated temple. I want to draw them the way they live on in my memory. Wise, beautiful, and loyal to their goddess and their city to the very end.
They fulfilled their duty honorably.
They did more than their duty. They gave everything they had to save others. Now it's my duty to make sure my friends and tutors did not die in vain. I will honor their sacrifice by making this world a bit more beautiful and kind.
What made an artist enlist in the army.
Perhaps I am a true artist, or simply an amateur who defaces canvases in my spare time. My goddess is a patron of art, so painting is part of my prayer, and I put all my heart into my pieces. But I am a cleric above all else, so I must also tend to others. I went to war because here's where I'm most needed. Sure, I could be painting idyllic landscapes and offering empty prayers to my goddess, but that won't stop people from dying. My goddess has no tolerance for false piety.
You wanted to discuss something with me, right?
Yes, I have a personal request. Before we undertake our journey and leave Canabris behind, I would like to visit Martyr Zacharias' cemetery for a funeral. It's not far from here, and it's important. I would like to pay my respects to my friends from the Temple of Shaylin who died defending the city. Also, if it's not too much trouble, I would like you to come with me to honor their memory. Their friends and family will be at the funeral, and perhaps the commander's personal presence will bring them comfort. I know that you are burdened by many cares right now, so I understand if you can't find the time. But if you could, I would be sincerely grateful.
Okay, it's nice meeting you. Now I have to go.
You must be rather busy indeed. Leading a crusade all by yourself is no joke. I still believe that you are up to the task. This war has been raging for 100 years, but you've given us a chance at victory.
Okay. Let's go inside the chapel tent. Glowing croissant. Alright. Elemental essence, okay. Let's add that croissant recipe real quick. Yeah, we'll talk to Hawkblade in a minute or two.
I'm off.
Let's verify that. Okay, that's the blacksmith. So let's go behind the tent. Okay. Commander, tall man with the piercing yellow-green eyes gives you a brief nod. Let me personally congratulate you on your new title and thank you for your time in advance. I am Leoto Hawkblade, an inquisitor of the Church of Yomade and Bring of Light. I require your assistance on a certain delicate matter involving one of your companions, young Count Dalren Arende. Are you one of Prelate Horon's followers? Leoto's face freezes for a moment, but he nods. Yes, of course. What is your opinion on his atrocities? It is silent for a while. Usually people reveal such things about themselves only to their confessor, not to some curious stranger. Still, I did ask for your help, and that imposes certain obligations upon me. Let me put it like this. I spent enough years in Prelate Horon's side to learn how to keep him from going over the line. The prelate is an extraordinary man, but he has fallen prey to his own paranoia and monumental sense of responsibility, which has gradually eroded his razor-sharp mind. He has witnessed so much hideous darkness that he now sees it in every shadow. Yet his strength was, and still is, a shield for all the people of Mandel. That is my opinion. His comrades and advisors are necessary to prevent him from making unforgivable mistakes. And where were you during the attack on Canabris? I was on the hunt, a very successful one, but as often happens in life, this minor success was a mere harbinger of a larger failure. If I hadn't been so far away from Canabris on the day of the attack, I might have been able to help my comrades and prevent a number of deaths. Thank you for your answer. It is not an easy topic for me. I prefer not to discuss this again. What brings you here? No, no, let's ask what about him more. Tell me more about yourself, Inquisitor. I want to know who I'm dealing with. I am Ulfrin by birth, but I've lived in Mendel for most of my life, dedicating myself to the service of the Inheritor. My warrior brethren mostly worship Gorum, but I've never been eager to fight for the sake of battle alone. Gorum, yeah, okay. That's, yeah, the Barbarian Guardian. I was a good fighter in my early youth and could easily best most of my peers, but I didn't enjoy showing off my skills. Victory is bland on its own. Purpose adds flavor to war. I can't say that I have always been a faithful sword of a Yamade. Back in my mercenary days, fate brought me to the border of Mendel, where I spent quite a long time among the Crusaders, fighting shoulder to shoulder with my righteous comrades in arms and watching demons commit their atrocities eventually led me to something I had been seeking my whole life, purpose and faith. That is how I found my calling. Even though it may be hard at times, I've never regretted my decision. Okay, what brings you here? I ask you to assist the Church of Yamade in an investigation of the utmost importance. I understand that the leader of the crusade has plenty of other matters to attend to, but please allow me to tell you the details. Perhaps it would explain why I'm calling upon you. The Inquisitor's open face instantly reveals his feelings. He frowns and looks through you, lost in his thoughts for a moment. I suppose that you have already heard about Count Andre's story. I refer to the tragedy at the Heaven's Edge estate. Okay, we'll just go through it. Wait, this is... About 10 years ago, several powerful demons managed to penetrate the Wardstone's barrier and committed mass murder of all the guests who attended the feast in celebration of young Darian's birthday. The unknown magical disease that had wiped out the whole estate in less than a day. That was not a unique case in itself. The demons had attempted such raids in Mendevian lands before, but they had never dared target such a well-protected place. The Arendade family was exceptionally rich. The estate was protected by elite bodyguards. There were several strong and righteous paladins among the guests. Moreover, the Reverend Nistrin, Darian's tutor, was one of the most powerful priests of Yamade in the vicinity. All of them died, nonetheless, except for the young count, who had suddenly manifested his outstanding sacred healing powers. Was that a divine miracle or a curse? That remains to be seen. You're going to investigate this old case again, aren't you? Yes, I am. I have several reasons to doubt the widely shared account of what exactly happened at the estate and how it happened. You see, Commander, I was among those sent to examine the estate after the incident. I saw everything with my own eyes, and I still remember it clearly, even though it feels like it happened a lifetime ago. Heaven's Edge has a unique place that still carries the spirit of old Mendef before the world wound. And yet, on that day, it turned into a labyrinth house of horrors, like something only seen in our nightmares. Apologies for that digression. I want to tell you about my suspicions. Everything about the incident seemed odd. Why was the only person left alive a young boy with a newfound talent for divine magic? Why did nobody send to Canabras for help, even though the agony spanned many hours? We found the demons dead with their heads cut off when we got to the estate. How were they defeated? How did the disease kill even the paladins present at the estate, who are said to be immune to any disease? If the demons have found a way to penetrate the Holy Warrior's defense, why was this never been repeated since the tragedy at Heaven's Edge? You are the only person who can help me, Commander, because the only living witness of those events is currently serving in your army. Your army's route will take you near the various sites of the tragedy. Heaven's Edge has been abandoned and sealed with potent magic throughout all these years, and only the Count has the power to break that seal. He is unlikely to invite an Inquisitor inside, and in any case, he won't like me sniffing around his family seat. But if you, as his commander, express your wish to visit the estate, he would be obliged to fulfill it, and I would simply follow you as one of your attendants. There are 100 ways, 1,000 paths, and myriad of loopholes in human lives that the Force of Evil can use to their advantage. I'm not sure which one of these led to the demons to the gates of Heaven's Edge, but I do know it wasn't a simple raid, the kind Crusaders face every day. That incident involved a significant, more powerful entity, and that is why I'm asking for your help. We cannot be sure that such a tragedy will not happen again until we uncover the truth. You have already been to the state several times. What do you expect to find now? I was a young and inexperienced inquisitor when I first visited Heaven's Age 10 years ago. My skills have improved significantly since then, and I have paid dearly for that. Makes a vague gesture, pointing at his scars. My arsenal includes many spells and techniques dedicated to gather information about people and events. Almost all of them require me to be physically present in the place where the event in question happened. That is why I must return to Heaven's Edge. Why can't you just search the estate yourself without involving me? This estate is abandoned and sealed with powerful containment enchantments that only the Count himself can lift. This is not the main reason, however. The main reason is that Count Arendelle is not officially under the investigation by the Inquisition, so I couldn't just break into his house even if I found a way to bypass the spells. This is a serious matter, Leota frowns. A matter that threatens the reputation of the entire Church of Yamade and my own organization in particular. We made more than enough unforgivable mistakes during the Third Crusade and are still dealing with their consequences. Your presence will give my investigation the necessary legitimacy, Commander, but there's more. In addition to getting official permission, I'd also like to bring an independent third-party investigator to this case, somewhat independent but well respected, and you fit this role perfectly. Oh, I'm the third party. Okay. Did you question Darian himself? I did, but the Count insisted he couldn't remember anything about the incident due to severe shock. He saw the demons at the very beginning when they appeared at the celebration to announce the onset of the plague and mock their victims. He also witnessed the death of his mother, Countess Selena. Yeah, that was all he would tell me. We found the young Count sleeping like a log on the floor in one of the rear chambers, having drunk about half the family wine cellar all by himself. There's no reason to disbelieve him on that matter. So you suspect that Darian is hiding something, that he is to blame for the tragedy? I deliberately refuse to entertain any theories or suspicions so that it doesn't affect the investigation. There is a saying among my colleagues that suspicion is the mother of prejudice, and prejudice is marred to failure. I can only tell you that Count Arendelle wasn't suffering from demonic possession, the most common malice in our country at the time. Prelate Holland himself examined the boy right after the tragedy, and he didn't sense anything away with him. Fine, I'll help you. What do you need me to do? Thank you, Commander. Now I ask you to speak to the Count and tell him that you wish to see Heaven's Edge. Please do not inform him of my presence right away. I will join your escort when it's time to travel to the estate. When we get there, I will also require your help during the investigation. You will have to follow me, observe my actions as an independent witness. Okay, I have to go. So that's another reason why the Queen kept him in our company and assigned him to us. She can't really do it as family because then it would cast a very bad shadow. We went in that tent. Let's go into this tent. Knight Commander, how can I help you? There's much I can do. Just ask. Nora looks at you with eyes filled with enthusiasm. She's holding a notebook and a traveler's inkwell. You probably heard about the I have. Wound I have. The one that sometimes opens on my chest. Can you perhaps tell me if it is some kind of demonic curse? I don't know. Let's tell me about yourself first. Oh my, I could tell you so many things, and you chose the most boring one of all. But alright, about myself then. Where are you from? Isgar, a small piece of land that proudly calls itself a country, though it hasn't been independent for a single day in all the centuries it existed. They have a lot of national pride, but all of it is borrowed, always looking to the great day when they can at last be free from the rule of Chiliacs. The Iskra love talking politics. If two of them start bargaining over beets at the market, you can be sure that they'll end up arguing about whether independent Isgard will be a monarchy or a republic. I've always found it funny to listen to, and a little disgusting. You see, there are a lot of us halflings in the country, but very few are citizens. Most are slaves. I was lucky. I've always been clever, ever since I was little, so they sent me to school instead of making me do the grunt work. They taught me to count and write, and I was sold as a secretary to Lord Exelar Tresbot. He's the one I left Isgard with, never to return, I hope. How did you come to serve Queen Galfrey? I was a slave to Lord Axel Tresbot in Isgard, my homeland. Oh, what a man he was. He towered over his fellows like a rock over a garbage heap. True hero, he brought me as a simple secretary, but he made me learn the history of the world wound, all of it, one volume after another. He hired tutors for me, even sent me to meet prominent historians. He didn't want a simple slave, but a slave with an impeccable education. And let Tresbolt was going on a crusade. He finally believed that the servants of the good gods were weak and only a follower Asmodeus could stand against the demon invasion. He took me along as a secretary, a historian, and most importantly, he entrusted me with recording his glorious story for future generations. In this crusade, Lord Tresbot performed many brave feats, but even he could not stand against the world wound alone. In his final battle with the demons, when my lord realized he was doomed, his final act was to cover my retreat so that I could tell the world of his great deeds. Some people have said what he did was not heroic, just an arrogant moron puffing himself up one last time, but I say curse their tongues. My difficult journey ended in Mendel, where I found my freedom, where I published the Lord Tresbot biography, and I don't want to boast, but who am I kidding? Of course I do. The book sold in great numbers and made me rather famous for a time. That's what brought me to the Queen's attention. She invited me to her court. After all, she was curious about my deceased lord, and she was in great need of an expert on the history of the world room. I hope you'll find me useful as well. So you're not just a historian, but a writer too. Will you write a book about my crusade? Haha, why not? As soon as we finish off the demons, I'll get right to it. Just take care that you don't end up like Lord Tresbot. Do you worship any deity? She makes a weary face. When I was enslaved in Isgard, they would beat me with a stick to force me into believing Asmodeus. They hit me and said it was for my own good. Ever since then, I don't like temples. I realize there are different gods like Desna and Kading who teach goodness and freedom, but it's just as soon as I smell frankincense, I see the slave driver's stick. Maybe one day I'll be able to turn to a deity without cringing from a blow from not being reverent enough. But for now, let others pray for me. It sounds sincere, but you feel that she's holding something back. Okay. Thank you for your answers. Tell me the history of the world room. What exactly do you want to know? Tell me about Osakars. It was an unforgiving country inhabited by numerous tribes of Killit barbarians. Imagine Numeria, but without the Metal Mountains, or the realm of the Mammoth Lords, but with a milder climate. That's Sakaris. The country was ruled by priests of forgotten deities and shamans. It's said that even back then, before the world wound, the boundary between worlds was especially thin in this region. Since ancient time, the Skari has had his claws sunk deep into the minds of the locals. His coats thrived here for many centuries. Eridan tried to stamp them out, but in the end, of course, he passed away. How did the world wound come to be? It happened the year Eridan died, 4606, a little over a century ago. No one knows if the timing was coincidental or if there's some connection with Eridan's death, but I'll tell you what we do know. The priest and shaman who ruled Syracuse, hated arcane magic and all who practiced it. Wizards and sorcerers were driven from the land of Worse. One of their prisons held a witch named Ariel Volish. We know nothing about her besides her name, and of course the atrocity she committed. By some unknown method, she managed to harness the terrible power of the demon lord Descari. Together they tore open the barrier between worlds, opening a rift to the abyss in the very middle of Sikoris. The world wound slowly but mercilessly expanded, devouring more and more land. In a matter of years, Sikoris was a memory. After a moment of silence, Noah asked softly, "Sometimes I think, what did they do to Ariel, 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 Ariel in that prison? Just imagine, she was ready to give herself to the abyss. If only the demons might devour her torturers along with her. To imagine such hatred, it terrifies me." Tell about the First Crusade. It began in 4622. Yes, it took the church and the secular authorities nearly 2 decades and hundreds of thousands of lives before they decided to take action. In the meantime, Securus was only supported by handfuls of volunteers. By the time the Crusades began, the demons had already invaded Mendel. The Crusaders pushed them back in what must have seemed a total triumph at the time. The forces of good easily crushing the demons on all fronts. They erected Dresden on the lands they conquered, an indestructible fortress and the capital of the Crusaders movement. In 4630, 8 years after it began, the First Crusade was declared victorious. It was the first triumph of the Crusaders, and unfortunately the last. Tell me about the Second Crusade. In 4638, the world wound suddenly started expanding, and a new wave of demons appeared. The Crusaders were all but delighted. Last time they routed the forces of the abyss, and they welcomed another chance to prove themselves, but this time everything was different. Instead of scattered gangs, they faced a large and organized army. Dresden was besieged, and the Crusaders lost all the lands they'd won back before. They had to retreat, and all that remained of Sikoris was left to the demons. But while the monsters were devouring the unprotected lands, the Crusaders erected a chain of wardstones along the border with the world wound. We have Eomade and her herald to thank for their help. It was the Second Crusade's only victory, but it halted the wound's growth. The catastrophe had become a stalemate at the cost of tremendous sacrifice. Tell me about the Third Crusade. About 50 years after the opening of the world wound, Descari found an ally. Baphomet entered the war, a cunning, insidious demon lord who prefers deception to open conquest. He set his enemies against each other and lures the virtuous into the path of wickedness. Traitors appeared among the Crusaders, secret agents of his cult. For a time, no one suspected a thing, even as they watched helplessly as the Crusader movement fell to ruin. Where once valor proudly stood, now greed and dumb cruelty reigned. The outrage was drowned in apathy. In 4665, the church announced a new crusade, hoping to boost morale. They didn't succeed, to put it mildly. Some fought the demons in earnest, and for a time they even dared hope to retake Dresden. But the Third Crusade would be remembered as a witch hunt in every sense. Inquisitors hoped to purge any cultists from the ranks of fighters, but instead they got a barrage of denunciations, widespread suspicions, and innocent victims. It sometimes appeared that two orders would denounce each other as traitors and wipe each other out, much to the demon's delight. Just 3 years later, in 4668, the church put the disgrace to an end. Of all the crusades, that one was the least glorious. And then the fourth crusade was what? Of course, the demons had no intention of sitting quietly caged behind the wardstone. They kept attacking Canabras, trying to reach the stone and destroy it, or just scratch its surface, or, if even that wasn't possible, befoul it. The Crusaders drove the demons away from the city again and again. The Fourth Crusade would last for 15 years, an exhaustive study in positional warfare. The demons attacked and they were pushed back. The Crusaders went on the offensive, but were forced to retreat, and all the while the losses were tremendous. The Fourth Crusade's only achievement was that they didn't let a single wardstone fall. They didn't retake a sliver of land, to say nothing of Dresden, so many lives just to maintain the stalemate. You can imagine how that affected morale. Thank you for your answers. You've probably heard about the wound I have, the one that sometimes opens on my chest. Can you perhaps tell me if it has some kind of demonic curse? Yes, indeed. I've been told of your affliction. Appears at the center of your chest. Can you will the wound to open? No? It's a shame. What can you tell me about this wound? Well, it's difficult to say. I know of blades that leave never healing cuts, of poisons that stop wounds from healing. I've heard of witches' curses that are rewarded with eternal wounds, but wounds that seem to reopen and heal over and over? Perhaps you know of other cases like this? Let's think. In 4671, a Mendevian army corporal had all his bones and cartilage turned to glass. Wow. In 4700, Scribe and Cadaver's had all her skin simply come away like she'd been boiled. And in 4638, oh, you don't happen to have insects crawling over you. Locusts? No. Rats, perhaps? Too bad. Noah looks at you with genuine regret. Do you think it's dangerous? It most likely is dangerous, but you are under the protection of Iomade, Commander. She granted you mythic powers, as they say. Surely the Inheritor would not leave you to face this alone. Have you perhaps noticed that the moon opens at moments when you waver in your faith? Perhaps it is triggered by doubt. Brown looks at you with sincere concern. Thank you for your answers. I have to go. If you have questions, come back. What is your loot? Cool. Oh, we got to go talk to Darian. Right? I'd love to visit Heaven's Edge and see the Arendelle estate someday. Oh, I was just about to mention it myself. I've been thinking, now that I'm in the middle of this whole crusade nonsense, I simply must devise new ways to have fun. With all the recent commotion, my birthday completely slipped my mind. What if we were to celebrate it at Heaven's Edge? It's not far from here, and you'll get to enjoy a banquet in a bona fide haunted house. Darren seems to have trouble getting the words out, which clearly indicates how rarely he has to ask for anything. Since you're my superior and I'm your advisor, I am obliged to ask your permission to leave for the festivities, and I want to invite you too. I'm sure the commander can free up an afternoon while the soldiers are on leave. Are you going to really? Are you really going to throw a banquet at the very place where your whole family died? The only person slept for a moment before we played with a board draw. Yes, what of it? Am I supposed to weep and quake with fear for the rest of my life? I've stayed away from the damn place for 10 years, and now I'm going to return there to drink, dance, and be merry, without a care in the world. You can keep your squirmish disapproval to yourself. Alright, deal. Okay. Perfect. You'll have a ball. I'll make sure of it. Something strange flickers in Darian's smile. I should go. Goodbye. Something's not right with you. You're a great healer, but something's not right with you. I think it is time to try to leave. Let's drop a save real quick before we leave this camp for the first time. Oh, everybody has level ups too. Oh, this guy's... It's a different cleric. Let's stay with what we got right now. Okay. Crusade starting out. You can now control armies on the global map. Winning battles against demon forces provide a number of benefits such as resources to help your economy, relics which can be turned into powerful new items for your party, capture any fortifications that previously blocked the advance of your party and your armies. These fortifications can be rebuilt into forts for your own troops. Enemy armies differ in their strengths, which is displayed as a number next to the army's name. By hovering over the enemy army, you can learn more about its composition and the reward it is guarding. You can switch between party management and army command mode by clicking the banners at the top of the screen. In army command mode, you can select armies by either using the panel on the left, okay, or clicking the figures on the map. Much like your party, armies use roads to move around the map. To move, an army must spend movement points, which can be restored by resting for 1 day. Okay. Interesting. But we're right here, so let's do this, and then we have that one. What's that? The Woundlands. Forts all over the place. Stone wilds. Lake lost to the sun, it says. Okay. Well, see what this. There we go. Need to follow companions to enter this location. Okay, so Group manager. I didn't know we were going to be right here. Let's place you with you. Since you said you're a cleric, right? So you should be able to heal. An elderly man limps toward the grave and clumsily throws a handful of soil inside. How unfair. They were all so young. They had their whole lives ahead of them. They sacrificed themselves, and an old cripple like me still lives. An elderly woman with her face bathed in tears steps up to the grave. She whispers, "The painting. It burned like everything else in the house. There's nothing left for me to remember you by. Nothing." A young man throws a handful of soil on the open grave and stands beside it for a while. Lost in thought. Finally, he sighs and steps back. Sister throws a handful of soil into the grave in front of him, takes a breath, and prepares to speak. But it seems that he simply cannot find the right words. The cleric wipes his tear-filled eyes, gathers his resolve, and says in a gentle voice, "I wish you a warm welcome in Sarenlane's realm. We will win this war, I swear to you. We'll banish this ugliness and evil, make the world richer, and let peace blossom in it. We'll make sure anything like this," he breaks with sobs mid-sentence, then falls silent without finishing his declaration. Here we do lawful again. A part of me wants to do good, but I think this playthrough we're going to do a lot of lawful choices. Sosiel is too absorbed in his grief to hear you, but the other mourners raise their fists into the air, inspired by your words. Glory to the heroes of the crusade. Never forget. What is that? An elven woman shrieks in horror, disrupting the atmosphere of silent mourning. Her trembling hand points at something moving inside a grave. Suddenly a corpse climbs out of the ground, wafting a horrible stench from its rotten body. It's a zombie. Run. Oh, great.
This will be quick.
No, we don't. Okay, we can't level up and stuff in the middle of fights. I was hoping at the end of all that conversation we can do their level ups, but wait, what do you even have to fight with, my dear friend? The glaive. Okay.
The light take you!
This condition is irrational.
I'm gone. We do it my way.
This is my kind of work. You ask me. Pretty good, aren't I? This is my kind of work.
How did you awaken? Do you remember anything? Allow me a moment to think. Seems like it. Yes, indeed. I awoke because I heard a voice. They were reciting poetry or prayers, perhaps. I suppose those were spells then? It must have been your thrice damned necromancer. Would you like to pass along any words of comfort to your friends or family while you're here? That good for nothing band of hang-ons? Most certainly not. Thank you very much. I am reasonably confident that they have already brought my estate to ruin and squandered the fortune I bequeathed to them. They will have to do without my missives. Spare us both that indignity and embarrassment. You see, I would still be in the company of those I truly care for, were it not for your discourteous sorcerer and his parlor of tricks. Okay, rest in peace. Thank you. Do feel free to take my burial jewelry. Those pieces were dreadful out of fashion where I'm going anywhere. Anyway. I don't see any jewelry. She lied to us. It's a
Yet another obstacle. Don't hold back!
get him. There's another zombie lord, but let's be on the lookout for some of these others. What horror, I can barely catch my breath. Thank you for saving our lives. More of the same. Okay. Okay.
Follow if you dare.
You should have listened to reason. No time for debates.
Did you see that?
You gotta focus on him.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
All right. Wait, looks. They're waiting for us. There's a whole squad of undead guarding the door. Maybe we should look for another entrance. Okay. I hear you, my friend. But first we gotta get loot. Okay. Okay, let's see. Is there something over here? Okay. Let's make this climb.
The mongrel did it.
This is my kind of work.
I think we should be in sneak
I was
if we're
never
trying to
good at
find a
stealth.
way around
But I'll try.
these people.
Thanks, Lan. You're so awesome, man.
Want to get in? Nope, can't get down there, but we can get in here. Who are you? What do you want? All you have to do is die in the name of Baphomet. Have faith. You can do it. Don't you dare. Get away from them. Really? We're just gonna let him rush down there by himself. This is the end of your blasphemous magic. I won't let you harm the living or the dead anymore. Do you think I need your permission? Hey, you boneback, stand up and kill.
Let's prove their logic is lacking.
Okay. How did he do that earlier? Okay, that's cool. But how do we get it to... Oh, that's it. Cool to know.
Begone, fiend!
What spells can you... Oh, they saved.
Performance is lacking. You are lacking.
Of course. Would you dismiss your spell? That worked against us that time, but I surrender. Stop. I give up. Don't hit me. The young man in black robes throws his hands up in a dramatic gesture. Sorcerer, you damn right. How dare you? Suddenly, Sorcerer becomes a totally different person. The artist's delicate hands clench into fists, while his voice comes out as a menacing roar. He leaps at the necromancer and breaks his nose with a single blow. You scumbag, I remember you. You came to our temple begging for healing just a month ago. We fed you. We shared our table with you and took you in. Then I don't even know what I'm going to do to you. Stop it. I surrender. Your Sorcerer ignores the necromancer's cries of pain, punching him right in the teeth. The necromancer spits blood but continues, fighting past the wild blows to his increasingly bruised and busted face. You are oppressive Shaylin. I've surrendered. So you have to spare my life. Your goddess demands it. Do you two know each other? We do. That's Nardi, a tailor's apprentice from Canabras. We healed him after he was mauled by a dog. Then he became a frequent visitor to our temple. He listened attentively to our sermons, studied the goddess' teachings, and praised our art. Sosiel grits his teeth. Were you lying to our face the whole time? When we took you in? When you sat at our table? When we broke bread with you? Were you planning to stab us in the back even then? The whole time. Now I understand. Now you understand part of it. Let's dig into the rest. The cultist curves his bloody lips into an evil sneer. I was hoping to lure you to our side. It wouldn't have been hard. We are everywhere, even inside you. I think you know it too. You are not like all those pious devotees. You pretended to be, and maybe you fooled yourself, but we both see who you really are. You have that same demonic rage inside you. It's a pity I never had time to rekindle it into a devouring flame, but sometimes you have to resort to a backup plan. Having you die at the hands of your dead friends was such a good idea. It's a pity it didn't work. Shut up, Sorcerer swings his fist but stops it in midair. His clenched fist trembles as he stares at the cultist with an expression of pure hatred. You want to kill me right now, don't you? But you can't. You're a good boy, Sosiel, so loyal to your goddess. You'll have to let me go or commit a sin, so I win either way. Witness the genius of our Lord Baphomet. Yeah, he's telling. Is he telling the truth? Your religion doesn't allow you to kill him? Yeah, not after he submitted. Yes, the Eternal Rose is known for her grace. She teaches us to show mercy to anyone who asks for it. It's one thing to slay an enemy in battle, but a captive, you must try to save their soul, to show them the beauty of the world, but persuade them to abandon the path of evil. It's difficult, but the world is better for it. I'm just repeating your sermons back to you. Come on, Sosiel. Try to make me repent my sins. Perhaps your kind words will make me abandon Baphomet's teachings, run to Shaylin for redemption, and start knitting some masterpiece of my own. The culture smirks impudently. Impudently. Do you really believe that even this scum deserves a chance at redemption? I don't know. May Shaylin forgive me, but I have never had to struggle with this burden before. He looks at the cultists with visible disgust. I had no time to try healing the souls of villains. I was always preoccupied with healing the bodies of those hurt by them. Forgive me, Eternal Rose. You teach us to be merciful to our enemies and love them, but I am too weak. I'm afraid. Grant me absolution from this sin, for this kind of love is beyond me. Stop him. Stop Sorcerer. It's not worth breaking your goddess vows because of filth like him. Sorcerer looks at the battered necromancer's face, then at his bloodied hands in disgust. He slowly lowers and unclenches his fist. Thank you for stopping me. I almost broke my vows because of this. I had absolute no idea there was so much rage in me. It's a shame, a disgrace, but I must admit that I enjoyed beating him. Forgive me for letting you see me like this. It should never have happened. Sorcerer wipes the necromancer's blood off his knuckles and steps away from him. You are the commander, and he is your captive. It is up to you to decide his fate. I surrender. Here, take everything I've got. Just don't kill me. The cultist turns out his pockets. Scroll of burning on. What do you think I should do to him? Themselves at the cultist, then through clenched teeth utters, I have no right to decide whether he should live or die. You are in charge here. I'll send a messenger with orders to imprison the cultist. His deeds will be punished to the fullest extent of the law. Yes, that's the right thing to do. The clerk glanced at sigh of relief. Thank you. Examines the devastated graveyard, then diverts his attention to the terrified townsfolk. It's all right. You're safe now. We should bury the bodies again. This is a place of peace, and we must not leave it desecrated like this. Townsfolk are clearly terrified of even looking at the fallen undead, but Sosiel's soft words reassure them. As they work together, the graveyard soon regains its tranquil appearance. After a prayer, Sosiel bows his head before the graves of his friends for the last time. May the Eternal Rose grant them peace at last. Let's be on our way. We have many more innocents to protect from the horrors of this war. Glory to the Crusaders, huh? Okay. Let's go back here and see. Make sure we're not leaving anything. Go back into the church, get our loot, and get out of here. Good luck out there. Trash some things for us.
I'm off. I do what I must.
Yeah, when is it all going to end? nothing else up here, right? Okay. Let's find our way out of here. And we're gonna have to end the stream here. I'm gonna have to really sit down and look into our equipment, the characters. What are they good at? What best weapons they prefer? Okay. Take it. This line is the army line. And that's there's nothing. Okay, so that's Mendel. Okay. Yeah, we're going to end this stream here. We have, what's his name? Sosiel in our group now. Sosiel. And we really need to look at everybody's equipment, make sure everybody has the right stuff that they should have. Like in their slots. We should arrange some stuff essentially. So thank you everybody for coming through. Adrogaris, I will add you to Discord, to my Discord. Thank you Hindenburg for popping on in as you did. And also Compelled to Die, thank you for that comment. I'm gonna go to the Nexus mods and look for that, because yeah, my throat, even though I'm enjoying this game, my throat is scratchy. I'm feeling the scratch, the itch in the back of my throat at the end of every stream, just because of how much reading is in this game. So thank you all, and as always, please ensure that you take the time to enjoy your day, enjoy your night, and enjoy life. Peace.